Hey everybody, Goat here, back with an alternate build for your wizard, and this one was suggested by Mr. Bad Choice 101, one of our YouTube subscribers. He had posted it on my co-op wizard build, and it was a couple of suggestions based on what he was using and the gear I had. And the important parts about my gear being that I have this 10% bonus to spectral blade damage, the critical hit bonuses, the increased attack speed on my main hand here, and the critical hit damage bonus. Now, Hog and I were running this last night, and Hog was using his Barbarian, and we ran it in, I want to say, Master 4 and 3, and we had no issues whatsoever, just walking through everything. Then we moved it up to Master 5 just to try it out, and we were actually doing fairly well. It died a couple times, but I was still getting used to the build, so I would say this is an excellent build for farming, an excellent survivability build, but of course you do have to have some of the gear to make it work. You can probably still make it work on the lower levels without having to have the big bonuses I do, but just want to show it off because I think it was a great suggestion by our subscriber. So, moving on over here to the skills, again, Spectral Blade. This is going to be really your main spell. You're going to use this a lot, and it hits 3 or 4 times, I want to say 3 times, and those 3 times all hitting fish for more crits, and the more crits, of course, help out with your critical mass. Critical mass lowering your cooldowns. You'll see why that comes into play here in a little bit. And the other passive that's real important is Cold-Blooded. That is, of course, anything that is frozen or chilled, 20% more damage to it. That becomes a huge boost because you're going to freeze or chill everything you hit. And last but not least, Evocation on your other passive, and that's helping your cooldowns by another 15%. Why the cooldowns are important is because of the 2 main spells that help keep you alive. And those are, I should say, Frost Nova, which again is freezing people, so it allows your Cold-Blooded to work, and it's on a cooldown. Evocation helps with that. Now, you can run in and hit and freeze them for 3 seconds, and then they're going to take 20% more damage. And if you can hit 5 or more, which on any of the master levels, of course, all the groups are bigger, so this is much more likely to happen, you're going to get a 15% critical hit chance bonus, which is feeding into critical mass. So very nice. That also works as defensive of, oh crap, I need to run away, but it also works as offensive to run in and get your bonus for 12 seconds, because if you think about it, 12 seconds in a Diablo fight is actually a long time. That's going to clear a big group. Your energy armor here, same thing I was using, but we're going to move the rune over to Pinpoint Berry to give you a 5% critical hit boost. And the part I had been worried about before, by losing the 20 arcane power, isn't actually a big deal because you're not using much arcane power. The only spell you're going to cast on a regular basis that needs arcane power is Blizzard, and that is actually only, it lasts 6 seconds. You're not calling it in that often. Everything else you're going to be spamming your Spectral Blade. So that's very nice, and increasing your armor by 35% helps you out, of course, for surviving no matter what level you're on, and you can go wade into the fight and not, be as affected. So Blizzard's a spell you're going to be throwing out to begin with. That's going to chill everything in the area. It's a bigger area by the rune there, and that allows you to chill more things to be able to wade in and do more damage. Over here in Magic Weapon, we're getting 10% increased damage. Of course, awesome, especially when you stack that with your bonus damage from being chilled. And then the Blood Magic gives you back some life. And that's, again, great. It's going to keep you alive and help you out. I should have mentioned here that, the 5% damage done, getting back on the healing blades here for the Spectral Blade, again, getting you a whole bunch of life back. If you're already getting plenty back, you could change that rune out to a different one. The increased range, like I usually use the last rune. But at the higher levels, you're going to want to have that to help keep yourself alive and allow you to stay right there in the middle of the fight and not have to run away and kite things along. Now the last thing here, your Diamond Skin, and that's another one that's on a cooldown that allows you to absorb, in my case here at level 60 with my skills, just shy of 2300 damage before it wears off, and it's got a 15-second cooldown. While you're decreasing your cooldowns here, all your critical hits are decreasing here. It ends up being fairly active, and in a big group of elites, you can spam this, not constantly, but pretty darn regularly, and with your life on hit coming back while you're absorbing the damage here, that allows you to keep alive without having to use potions a lot. And then when the diamond skin wears off, that you get 210% weapon damage to anything nearby you, which if you're standing in the middle of things like you would be, that is going to explode outward and do damage to everything, and it also can critically hit, which again is helpful. So this build works real well, and what I want to do is one thing real quick. I will show you my stats on this. See, with my stats, I'm getting 2 attacks per second. That's actually pretty darn high. My critical hit chance is a little lower. I'd like some better items for that. I still need those, but why basically this one works. So I'm going to head in here real quick. I'm in the Vault of the Assassin in Act 2, which is an excellent place to go farming if you want to go and get some either gold, items, whatever. So we'll head in with that, freeze everybody, then we're going to Frost Nova up, and we'll just hold down our attack here. As you can see, I stay alive with very little effort. I did use a potion there because I was trying to talk and stand still, but Frost Nova again. Oop, they're going to blow up. Let's get away from that. We'll keep that up and running. Head in here. And look at that. I did use a potion because I was talking. If I was doing it in the proper order, I wouldn't have had an issue whatsoever. But no big deal. You can hit all these people, Frost Nova. Now you've got a huge bonus to your critical hit, and then just walk around and hold this down. Call it in again. Blizzard. That's hitting everybody. No issues. I'm on Master 3 right now, by the way. I should have mentioned that. So you can see that I am really having no issue. And the biggest issue I had there was standing in the middle of the people that are molten. So we can mess with people at range. They got extra health, so these guys will be a little more problematic. I didn't hit 5, so that is going to make it a little more time consuming. I'm not going to get my bonuses for Frost Nova. But we can go ahead and hit. Let's finish this one off. He's going to explode, so we got to get at range. Oh, that's going to be bad. And that explosion didn't hurt me because I did happen to have the diamond skin up. That pulling at the last second there was rough. Oop, get out of it. But, as you can see, no issues on Master 3 whatsoever. Running along. So, again, great build, great survivability, great damage, and I want to thank Mr. Bad Choice 101 for that suggestion. It works out well. The only thing I have an issue with personally is remembering to keep that armor up. I'll tend to run around and be having so much fun I'll forget to put the armor back on. It's not, horribly detrimental, but I'll realize after a little while, hey, why am I not doing quite as well? Oh, right, I don't have that armor up. So that's the only thing to keep in mind. Otherwise, great build. And if you have any other suggestions on our other pages, we're glad to help them out. Stop in any of our build guides and let us know if there's something else you use that's unconventional. That's kind of what we want to spotlight here. You can see our unconventional builds and people's unconventional builds because, of course, the PC has all their standard builds as people farm from the auction house. Since we can't do that and you got to use what items you have, you end up having these weird builds, and they can work great. So, thanks for watching, and drop us a like or a subscribe. And again, any other suggestions, we appreciate it. Take it easy, everyone.